Alright everyone, Hydrogen Hillary won't forgive you if you didn't vote in this last election. She also won't forgive you if you voted for Bernie in the primaries, or if you voted for Trump or a third party. In fact, she doesn't have a whole lot of compassion and forgiveness for anybody in the country other than herself at this point. When you combine all the groups that she's attacked for being responsible for her loss and evil and deplorable, when you combine them all together, it's the vast majority of the US population. And I think that a lot of Hillary Clinton voters would not have voted for her if they had known she would act this way upon losing. Because that was a big fear about Trump. They're like, oh, is he actually going to step down? Is he going to accept the election result? Is he going to lead some sort of revolt? Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton is the #resist person after she loses within weeks. Gets the pink hats together. Keep protesting. We must nullify the results of this election because we didn't get what we wanted. No. A lot of these people originally were receptive to that. I think fewer and fewer people are, especially when the Hydrogen Hillary's new thing. This was funny. There's a passage from her book about Orwell's 1984. According to Hillary Clinton, believe it or not, 1984 is a novel about how you should just trust the establishment and the mainstream media because they're looking out for your best interests as opposed to some maverick like Trump who might try to seize fascistic control. That's what 1984 is about. Re-educate yourself. Slavery is freedom and war is peace, people, in the most literal sense, according to Hillary Clinton. How dumb can you get? Is there anybody else who construes 1984 that way? Anybody else in the history of since it's been written? Is there anybody else who's made such an elementary error? No, it's a novel about don't trust the government, don't trust the mainstream media. They're all lying to you. They're full of shit. They want to make you miserable and enslave you. You know, Trump being part of that government at this point too, but he wasn't in politics before. Hillary Clinton's been there since the 1980s. Oh my God. I mean, she's just so dumb. She just can't let go of the issue. And it's not a surprise. Like, we knew, like, there would be some whining afterwards. I'm surprised at how much stamina she had. If she had had this much stamina during the election, like the amount of energy that it takes to run around selling books and whining to people about how bad they are because they didn't cast a ballot the right way, if she had done that during the election and had that much energy then, she would have won. She would have won Wisconsin. She would have bothered to show up for a couple rallies. She would have won Michigan and North Carolina, probably Florida too. Instead, she basically abandoned ship for some months. She didn't do anything other than talk to Goldman Sachs and beg for more money. Then she turns around after the election when she loses, and she can't believe it. She throws stuff around apparently and is drunk, according to everyone involved, other than Bubba, who probably got attacked by her at the time. She attacks everybody. Talks about the media was against me. The DNC didn't do enough fundraising. I had to do it all myself. I didn't have enough money. You raised over $1 billion. You outraised and outspent your opponent 5-1, and you have the bad sense to whine about money problems. Oh yeah, Donald kept pumping his own campaign full of money. Yeah, money for travel almost most of the time, holding rallies and stuff. Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you hold more rallies? He was outflanking you 3-1 on that measure. So his voting base was energized. Even if it was, it was of comparable size. He didn't have a huge numerical superiority over you. In fact, in the popular vote, because of California, you actually were several million votes ahead on that measure. But you didn't target the right states. Your campaign strategy sucked. You tried to wage an all states are the same campaign in an election where there was a really clear rift between certain parts of the country and certain others, like the Rust Belt and parts of the South especially. And you didn't capitalize. She didn't even do what I expected her to do, which was, the Clinton name carries more weight in a place like Georgia, Arkansas, Carolinas than most Democrats would. She should target those states heavily too, because and I said this, if Trump does go full Rust Belt, she needs to make that up elsewhere because she's probably going to get hammered, which is what happened. But she didn't even bother to do that. She just didn't show up for her own rallies. She went to California and New York and places like that she was already going to win, to hold big rallies and say, oh, how wonderful I am. I want your adoration and praise. I want an echo chamber. She's just part of the alt-left. She's like the grandma of the alt-left. They do the same thing. They want to be part of an echo chamber. They don't want to debate anything. She can't debate. She lost all the debates. You know, the lamestream media said, oh, Trump did so poorly. No, that's not what I saw. I think if you look at the election results, I think you'll know who was right. Because you're way out there. And half of these people that were construing the debate results were controlled by the Clinton camp anyway, according to the DNC dumps, their emails, that they then blamed on Russia. And she's still doing that too. I'm sure that Trump was helped by the Russians. I'm sure he communicated with the Russians. I'm sure all these people around him communicated with the Russians. Oh no, we've been taking Reds under the bed, Reds under the bed. Communists everywhere. Woo, KGB. Vladimir Putin is trying to control our republic. No, what was happening was that the slimeballs, career politicians were trying to control our political system. That's why they pulled out all stops to rig everything for you during the primaries. When it barely worked and you were weak, they started trying to do that, I guess, in the general, but failed other than in New Hampshire. Some consolation. So Hillary Clinton now says she won't forgive those who didn't vote. Who cares about her forgiveness? She lost. She's just a slimy dynastic politician who was left behind in the dust in the 1990s. She's still thinking that Garbage and the Pearl Jam and bands like that are like on the charts. Like she's forgotten what year it is, I guess. She doesn't realize how long ago. She's got that syndrome where people are like, oh, it seems like just yesterday the 90s were the prior decade, and now all of a sudden it's approaching 2020 and we just don't know what happened. Well, yeah, that happens to some people. It certainly happened to Hillary Clinton. She's stuck in that Bubba Bill era, back when they were socially relevant, back when it was okay to be dynastic, back when it was okay to be a boring neoliberal and wage a TV-style campaign, in the era of social media, no less. Well, it didn't work. Sorry about that, but you've got nobody to blame but yourself. It's Hillary Clinton's fault that she lost. She wants to blame Obama, Biden, the DNC, the entire media, the deplorables, the internet world, sexist Bernie Sanders fans, Bernie Sanders himself, the Warrenite progressives. Who's left? That's everybody in the friggin' country. Literally everyone's responsible but her. And she can't even properly analyze the meaning behind 1984. Why should we take her words seriously? Why would you want her forgiveness? Like you have to get on bent knee before Lord Hillary Clinton. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't vote. I didn't protest enough. I didn't knock on enough doors. Oh, please forgive me, Shillery, Hydrogen Shillery. I mean, there's your cult of personality. You're busy projecting, oh, Trump's got one of those going on. His fans right now mostly are criticizing him over DACA. Like only those of us who aren't really super Trump fans and we're just analyzing it as a regular routine sort of political maneuver even understand, I think, what's going on at this point. Like a lot of his fans, they're certainly willing to criticize him. Some of them are single-issue voters. Hillary Clinton's fans, no, never criticize her. Some of her softer support's already gotten off board. That's why her own approval's hovering down near congressional levels. They want to talk about how weak Trump is. Trump's doing just fine compared to Hydrogen Hillary. Way, way better. He's a good 5-10 points up above her. And one thing, though, the saving grace is she has announced she will not seek election again. She's done with politics, which makes sense. I mean, come on, she's got health problems that are fairly obvious. She's 70 years old. How much longer can you go on? And she's already run unsuccessfully twice. The first time Obama schlongs her, in Trump's words. The second time around, she screws over her only real viable opponent, who is never technically viable because of his platforms anyway, and then proceeds to be heralded as the second coming and the inevitable winner by everybody in the media, most pundits, including some people who supported Trump or a third party. And very few people thought Trump would pull it off. And she still loses. And it was a surprise to so many Trump fans when he actually won. I'm sitting there and I'm chuckling to myself. Hillary Clinton, I think, is like this. She doesn't understand why she lost. Because in her mind, she can do no wrong. She's incapable of criticizing herself, so she doesn't understand how her own actions led to her loss. She instead, therefore, seeks to blame every other group of people. The problem is she has, at this point, blamed every person in the country. If you voted, she blames you, because she's blamed those who voted third party, those who voted Trump, and those who voted for her for not being vicious enough. So if you voted, she blames you. If you didn't vote, she blames you. That's everybody in the country. every person eligible to vote anyway. Everybody's been blamed by Hydrogen Hillary. Why is there anybody who supports or approves of her at all? 0 people should, other than Hillary herself, because she blames you for her loss. She thinks you're a problem, that you're a bad person. She's made it fairly clear. And of course, she's not listening to those more sane people around her saying this is probably a bad idea. She's just gone off her rocker, I think. I think she's getting demented or something. I don't think she quite knows what's going on. She thinks it's the 1990s still. That's about all. Peace out.